Let's talk about the breath and why it is so important for first off your training, but also good posture and every other aspect of your life. We should have learned this at a very young age, but unfortunately it's just not taught until sometimes it's a little bit too late. So we'll work on some corrective exercises that we can do, bringing awareness into the breath, because a lot of times we're taking in quick deep breaths into our chest. They're really shallow and not much intention without using the diaphragm, pretty much. For today, I want to focus on the 360 breath, being able to breathe 360 ultimately, so all the way around. So let's get right into it first. I want you to think about the rib cage, bringing some expansion even into the backside, because your rib cage comes all the way around. As we take in a deep breath, I want you to expand all the way around, in through the nose. It fills up the belly as well. That's fine. As you exhale, I want you to breathe out from the belly and up. So empty the tank from the belly. Inhale, our ribs expand, our belly gently rises, and our pelvic floor lengthens right here. Exhale through the mouth. We're exhaling belly and then rib cage out. What we're doing by breathing is teaching our diaphragm and our core to work together to manage pressure. So this helps you to not throw out your back in a squat or a deadlift, or anytime you're picking something up, you know how to actually brace the core, making sure the whole center, the spine, is safe. Okay, so that is why it's really important to not skip this step at all. So a lot of the times when people are starting to learn how to breathe, they can't really feel their ribs expand, and that's due to tightness typically. So these are a few exercises that we can do to lengthen our lats and expand the backside of the rib cage, and a couple breathing exercises that'll kind of help it make sense a little bit more. Starting off, getting a nice reach with our lats. So this is the side body right here. I want you to reach and get as much length as you can through that side body. If you need to, you can come up against a wall for a little bit of stability right here. You can also do this standing or seated on the floor. So we'll hold here. Make sure to get the other side. And I would say holding for a good 20 to 30 seconds each side. Do it a few times to get some good length into that side. You'll already start to feel your body relax. Next, bringing some awareness to breathing in the backside of your rib cage. So you'll grab a pillow. This is going to give you some support for the front side of your ribs to be able to expand back. Okay, so I'll show you this side point of view right here. I'm gonna get that kind of pressed up against right at the sternum area where the rib cage opens up to the belly, okay? So pull that in right here. We're gonna round over that pillow. And as I take an inhale through my nose, I'm going to try to send all the air into this back side right here. So breathe in through the nose. Feel that expansion. Exhale from the belly up through the mouth. Inhale, expand the ribs. Hold for a second, suspend right here. Exhale audibly through the mouth. Relax. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale through the nose again, expand the ribs. Exhale, belly up. We're trying to slow the breath down on the way out, not just a complete. So another way to look at this and think about breathing out, belly up. I want you to think about blowing up a balloon. What I see a lot in my classes and with clients, they don't really have so much of an awareness of that breath. So it's usually like in a squat, they're holding their breath all the way down. They come back up and it's like, okay, a little tiny breath. I want it to be, but I want it to be really audible, because that is going to help you to tighten up the sides of the obliques, making sure that your spine is completely locked in and safe. The breath braces the core. If you are not breathing properly in your exercises, you are missing so much work. So if you're someone that feels a lot of tension in the neck, if you have a little bit of rounding of the shoulders and you're constantly trying to fix that, that's probably because you're not getting enough air all the way around. It's a tight breath. So like a unconscious, right? We're not always thinking about every single breath that we take in through the day, but this becomes tight. So we're not utilizing the full rib cage all the way around. So that's why this breath is really going to help you, not only with your exercises and protecting your spine, but also in your posture and how you walk when you go to pick up kids or something from a high shelf. Good quality of life. So having that awareness of the breath is going to, in turn, strengthen out your core. So let's start a little exercise that you can do lying on the floor or your bed, whatever is most comfortable for you. I want you to place one hand on rib cage. So, hand on the rib cage. I want to think about breathing in to both sides of the rib cage and into the back side of my rib cage as well. Start off by flattening that back. So we don't want to have an arch. I want you to tilt your pelvis up so we can flatten out like you're trying to smash a penny back behind. Take an inhale through the nose, expanding the rib cage and then into the belly. Let's go in. Exhale, belly up. Inhale all the way around. Exhale, belly. Let's keep going together. You'll notice on the exhale, you'll feel a little bit of tightness through the sides of your abs. This is what we want. This is going to allow you to actually feel the contraction through the sides, which is what we mean when we say brace the core. How to know when to breathe out, when to breathe in. I hear this all the time. So with your breath out, it's anytime you're exerting energy. So for example, with a squat, exerting the energy as we're pushing our body back up. So when we're holding weight, or if we're doing a barbell on the back, I really want to make sure that this is super locked in before you ever try to go up in weight. This is very important for your spine. We're going to inhale at the top through the nose. Obliques are engaged. Slowly drop down to your squat as we press back up right here. Just that last little bit. The squat is very specific, okay? That's where we're going to have just a slight little difference. Another example is our deadlift. So we're hinging back at the hips, okay? And then as we come up, inhale, brace that core, that 360 breath. Braced into that deadlift. So with that row, when we pull back, that's the hardest part of the move, okay? Right? So as we're pulling, that's the contraction that we're going to feel. So I want the exhale. The press is the hardest part, pushing the weight away from you. So we're going to press, exhale, slow and controlled down. Anytime we're doing core, If you are not breathing, you're probably doing it completely wrong. This is where I really want you to pay attention. And I would say one of the number one core exercises that anybody can do is any kind of variation of a dead bug. On your back, you're going to have your knees directly over the hips, feet are elevated off the ground, and then a lot of times you'll have both limbs up. As I lower, take my little inhale, extend. I'm going to exhale right here. This is getting contraction through those obliques, through your lower abs, through the top abs, to make sure there isn't any rib flare where your ribs are up and no arch in the lower back, okay? Let's practice that a couple more times. Lengthen. Exhale as we come up. Other side. Lengthen and up. I hope this helps. Let's focus on this during class. We can talk about it more. This is going to give you some great practice and a true idea into why I say all the time, don't forget to breathe.